Throughout the history of cinema, few pieces of media have managed to be as impactful and transformative as Frankenhooker, a terrifying tale of sluts and bolts. It is a masterpiece that the likes of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein film could only dream of rivaling, and a tour de force that I dare the likes of Citizen Kane and The Godfather to surpass as not just a piece of art, but a statement about life. Allow me to explain. Unleashed in 1990 to surprising acceptance from the director's conservative family, Frankenhooker follows Jeffrey Franken, an average blue-collar worker who, after tragically losing his fiancée Elizabeth to an automatic lawnmower in front of his in-laws,
and the direction, so when you want it to go, you just press this.
You're on your way, Chuck! Don't stand in front of it!
decides to bring her back to life. The way this decision is related to the viewer is masterfully done. Too many stuck-up filmmakers cling to the tried-and-true rule of show, don't tell to relay character motivations, but Frankenhooker breaks the mold by having Jeffrey stare at the camera and deliver an Oscar-worthy speech.
Becoming dangerously amoral. I've lost the ability to distinguish between right from wrong, good from bad. I'm scared, Mom. I mean, I feel like sometimes I'm plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness or something.
Do you want a sandwich?
Peak writing if I ever saw it. And that's only the beginning. There is a clear passion for filmmaking embedded in every scene of Frankenhooker. The way the lawnmower barrels down on Elizabeth is a poignant yet subtle analogy to the looming threat of nuclear fallout following the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, well etched into society's mind at the time. Never the ones to skip, the creators even filmed on location in New York, unlike those hacks at Lucasfilm who cheaped out on Star Wars with blue screens. Amateurs. The real-world location really makes you feel like you're there, watching the women explode after consuming Jeffrey's super crack, a clever parallel to his hamster that suffered a similar fate a few scenes prior. Is this a biting feminist commentary alluding to women being hamsters, forever running on the wheel of late-staged capitalism until exhaustion makes us combust and the death of not just the body, but the mind and, nay, our very soul? Similar to the Russian epic The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky, we aren't left with a clear answer, and what meaning we arrive at serves as a mirror into our own humanity. That's the genius of Frankenhooker. After gathering his materials, Jeffrey revives Elizabeth, but much like any creative's first pass, the attempt turns out wrong. Elizabeth begins echoing the words of the woman she is cobbled together from as she goes out on the town, a riveting commentary of the 9-to-5 work week staying with us beyond the grave.
Want a date? Going out? Looking for some action? Need some company?
With such poignant dialogue, it's really no surprise the VHS was interactive. Jeffrey eventually finds Elizabeth and takes her back to his garage-turned-lab, where, after some adjustments, he restores her mind. Elizabeth is horrified at what she's become, but Jeffrey only cares that he's brought her back and that they can now be together forever. Things take a turn for the worse, though, as Jeffrey is decapitated by the procurer in charge of the dead woman he used to bring Elizabeth back. Thankfully, Elizabeth finds his notes and manages to give Jeffrey a second chance at life as the tale comes full circle. Only she uses parts from various women to host Jeffrey's head, just like Jeffrey did with her, much to his dismay. Elizabeth brilliantly relates this irony to Jeffrey by using the same objective language he used when explaining reanimation to her, thus taking back her identity and her agency in the narrative. So many Frankenstein adaptations with Elizabeth reduce her to just a side character and a prize to be safeguarded. But here, Elizabeth breaks out of the norm and takes charge of her own destiny. So sit down, the bride, and especially the bride. This is peak Frankenfeminism. Few works of fiction can utilize such relevant themes with such cleverness and care, but Frankenhooker goes above and beyond and excels at it. In conclusion, if you want a riveting film that will transform the way you view life as well as lawn care, I highly recommend watching Frankenhooker. It's available to watch for free on Tubi, like all the other classic films. Frankenhooker is truly the film ever, and it just might rival the great Call Girl of Cthulhu, which is something I never thought I'd say. I need to touch grass.